Hello, Manchester. I'm Zachary Scott Reichelt, and as you've seen from all the signs around town, I'm the candidate for the next mayor of Manchester. As a candidate for mayor, I must acknowledge how wonderful Manchester truly is. Having grown up just down the road from Main Street, I have been witness to our incredibly caring community. Whether it's direct care for those in need or an enriching event dedicated to our town's culture, Manchester residents have always been heavily invested in the community and have always been willing to speak up about all the things they care about most in town. As future mayor, I look forward to continuing this culture of care. I look forward to maintaining a boardroom where all residents feel comfortable to speak freely about issues of concern. My last 2 terms as a member of the board of directors has been an honoring experience, but also eye-opening to how people view our beloved town and how many envision the future. And I have some initiatives. My first initiative is the special election for Main Street. I'm concerned that people, especially those who signed a petition, have the right to a referendum which would decide what happens to their Main Street. Regardless, Manchester deserves a referendum vote for their Main Street, especially because of the magnitude of the streetscape plan. Voting Republican can guarantee this referendum vote. Town-owned buildings in town need a plan and purpose. I would seek a more comprehensive plan for vacant buildings, whether to sell or repurpose. It is a benefit to the town to increase the grand list. The decline of the grand list is a concern, moreover when paired with concerns over the mall and hospital. I want to present Manchester as a business-friendly community and grow the grand list with diversified businesses, which will reduce the burden on the resident. I'm deeply invested into promoting and seeing the development of the parkade, the building of the library, and the continuation of discussions over the new senior center. To end on a lighter note, I've always been a big supporter of trails in town and the preservation of open space. I think quality of life is connected to the access of quality land resources, and we owe this to the next generation. This enjoyment to the next generation. I appreciate your support that I've received, and I look forward to support this November. Thank you. Zach for mayor.
My name is Peter Conyers, and I am running for re-election to the Manchester Board of Directors. I'm a lifelong Manchester resident, veteran, and business owner. After serving overseas with the U.S. Army Reserves, I ran for the Board of Education to serve my community. After serving my term in 2019, I ran for the Board of Directors because I believe that town government should be responsive and respectful to its residents. Elected officials should listen to our taxpayers and residents to ensure that they understand and continue their vital role long after Election Day. During my 3 terms on the Board of Directors, I have seen firsthand how some of the most important and impactful developments have come from the ideas and efforts of its residents. As a director, I'm proud to say that I have helped establish the Manchester Veteran Advisory Committee, helped organize and implement our banner program to honor local veterans, supported efforts to save Case Mountain Cabin, argued for responsible budgets that balances services with keeping Manchester affordable, advocated for police and fire policies that keep Manchester safe. If re-elected, I will work to find common sense, community focus, and bipartisan solutions to Manchester's issues. Please remember to vote on November 4th. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ed Boland. I'm running for re-election for the Town of Manchester Board of Directors. I'm going to tell you something that I think most people know, and a couple things that you may not know. First off, you and I are paying too much in taxes. Our taxes are way too high. A couple of the reasons for that is the waste in the Board of Education. The Board of Education is in the bottom 10 of the districts in the state. And we keep throwing money at it, Things don't get any better. There is definite change need to be made there. Secondly, the amount of real estate that the town of Manchester owns is ridiculous. We're not in the real estate business, or we're not supposed to be in the real estate business, but we are, and we're terrible at it. I propose that we consolidate town offices into 1 or 2 buildings, get rid of the ones that are not needed, put that back on the tax roll. For example, Main Street, the building that was purchased by the town for about $500,000 more than it was appraised at. Then we put $300,000 into knocking it down and putting a nice lawn there and a couple picnic tables. Well, we're into that for almost $2 million. And if we get half of that back, I will be very shocked and very happy. But I think the number is more like 25%. So what that means is we are going to lose about $1.5 million on that deal. That's not a real good deal. I don't like those odds or those numbers, and we need change. A vote for the Republican team is a vote for change. Please remember on November 4th to vote for me, Ed Boland, and the whole Republican team for change. Thank you.
Being a good board member isn't about having all the answers. It's about generating the best ideas. So saying that, what I'd like to do is track all Excel expense reports if I'm elected to the position, resulting in cost savings, and track multiple million-dollar assets that might be on the books that shouldn't be on the books, and this is what I'll bring in my career to be able to help the town save money. So let's talk about no tax on car tax annually. Let's possibly eliminate taxes on clothing for the families. They're spending enough money as it is. So I'm a big proponent of finances, and that's what I'm going to bring because I did it for 40 years. The other issue I have is I've been working with Tom Tomko on Save Downtown Manchester, and that's been ongoing. And one of the big things we have to do with that is get the people to get the vote that is due them. According to Ordinance 310, the town has denied that to the people, and that's not right. And we got to go forward and make sure that our rights are upheld in this town. As small as it may be, it still has rights. So that's what I'm going to go for. And if you elect me, I appreciate it. And I thank you for this time.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Leslie Fry. To share a little bit about myself, I'm originally from upstate New York. I grew up in Colony, a suburb of Albany, and attended the Milne School. And I then went on to graduate magna cum laude from the State University of New York at Albany with a Bachelor of Arts in Languages. In 1981, I ended up relocating to Glastonbury, Connecticut for a job in the insurance industry, handling injury claims, investigations, and negotiating settlements. And I continue to work part-time in the industry. I decided to leave Glastonbury as it had changed from a pleasant country suburban town to an expensive, overly developed town filled with yuppies. I then discovered Manchester, which was more affordable. I loved its village charm, with all the older homes on tree-lined streets and walking distance to downtown, all the convenience it offered, and also the diversity of its residents. I purchased my first home in Manchester 39 years ago and soon learned Manchester is a very special place. Shortly after moving to town, I became involved in many different organizations. I've been a board member of Christmas in April, which is now known as Rebuilding Together, since its inception over 30 years ago. I joined Christmas in April in order to offer my help to homeowners in need. In addition, I joined the Spruce Street Area Block Watch, which later became known as the East Side Neighborhood Watch, and served as its president for over 30 years, to work in conjunction with the police department to bring continued safety and a sense of community to the East Side. I served on the original BOCA, Building Officials, Code and Administrators, Property Maintenance Planning Committee, with several representatives from various town departments for the 2 years it took us to complete our mission. For the past 20 years, I have also served as a commissioner and as secretary of the Cheney Brothers National Historic Landmark District Commission, as I appreciate Manchester's rich history and feel that it needs to be preserved for future generations. I attended the inaugural session of the Citizens Police Academy and also taught water aerobics for the town rec department for 17 years. Finally, I served on the repurposing school committee for 2 years and have also volunteered for MAC charities and support your community cares programs for our seniors. As you can see, I have been heavily involved in the town I love. I've walked and run our beloved Manchester Road Race on Thanksgiving morning and have also enjoyed attending many years of our fabulous car show, Cruising on Main. Interestingly enough, I have been asked to run for board of directors every year for the past 20 years and respectfully declined. But this year, I felt differently. I felt I needed to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. Let's address poor management and overspending. I'm furious that the current majority of the board of directors refuses to allow voters of Manchester to decide on the Main Street reconstruction project. This is our town, and we deserve a voice in major decisions that impact our community. Can you believe they approved over $1.7 million to purchase the Tong building, double its appraised value, only to tear it down for another $400,000? And what will take its place? Then they gave away the historic Nathan Hale building to a developer for just $1, along with a 2-year tax break, to build 41 apartments to the detriment of the neighborhood, rather than allow Odyssey School to take over the property. Disgraceful. And let's not forget Broad Street Parkade project, which has been at a standstill for over a decade, and a ridiculous settlement was paid to the second of 3 failing contractors. $11 million of our taxpayers' money has been spent and still nothing to show for it. Manchester deserves better. It's time to hold leadership accountable and to demand responsible, transparent stewardship. The Manchester Board of Directors needs me to help bring back some of the village charm we all celebrate. As a director, I would like to turn our focus toward improving the quality of life for all Manchester residents. We need to value our Manchester's history so future generations can continue to enjoy this beautiful town. We need to also focus on bringing more businesses and jobs to town so that we can grow our grand list to help alleviate the tax burden on homeowners. We can allow the voters to decide on how best to revitalize our downtown and hopefully finally bring some thoughtful development to the former Parkade site on Broad Street, not just more apartments. I feel I'm well qualified to represent the citizens of Manchester, and I personally ask for your vote and also ask that you support our entire Republican team, including our next mayor, Zach Reichelt. Thank you very much.